That Japanese guy is a wizard.
Something bizarre is happening, and it's blowing up in Japan. At the center of it all was Dodgers icon Mookie Betts. Betts stayed glued to an elderly Japanese man's side, constantly seeking guidance. Almost like a child learning from a master. What we're about to dive into is the full story of a crushing defeat. That completely shattered the pride of one of America's biggest superstars, and the shocking comeback that followed.
Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe.
I haven't been this locked in for a long time.
Not a single bad day. Mookie Betts was showing up earlier than anyone else, talking through an interpreter. With a small, elderly Japanese man. In his hands wasn't a bat or a dumbbell, but a plastic spear. Every morning, Betts starts his day by throwing that spear with full force. After that, he drops into a bridge pose, almost like yoga, and then stands on an unstable balance board as if training his core. He doesn't even look at the high-tech weight machines around him. But more than anything, what truly shocked everyone was the sight of the superstar giving that same man a piggyback ride, walking around the field. What on earth is he doing? I honestly couldn't believe my eyes the first time I saw it. A mix of confusion and curiosity spread among the teammates. But Betts himself didn't seem to care about the attention at all. He was completely locked in. My shoulder feels amazing. The fact that I can throw straight now after just 3 weeks, that's definitely thanks to the javelin training. After falling ill in early spring 2025 and losing 11 kilograms, Betts ended up having the worst season of his career. And yet in 2026, he looked like a completely different person, like he had rediscovered himself. My mindset, my life, even my playing style, everything has changed. The difference between when I started and now is night and day. His expression and his words made it seem as if he had truly become someone else. The man who transformed Betts so dramatically is named Osamu Yada. He's the personal trainer who has coached Yoshinobu Yamamoto since his high school days, developing him into one of the most talked-about pitchers in Major League Baseball. In reality, he's a 67-year-old Japanese man who runs a small bone-setting clinic in Japan and is licensed as a judo therapist. He may be small in stature, but like a legendary master straight out of Star Wars, he possesses a level of wisdom and power you'd never expect from his size. The man Betts calls sensei and learns from every morning. How did he turn Yamamoto into one of the best pitchers in the world? And why did Betts, who once thought his methods made no sense, end up bowing his head to him? It all began with a fateful encounter between Yada and Yamamoto. A full model change is necessary. You won't reach your ideal by extending your current mechanics. In 2017, at a small clinic in Osaka, an 18-year-old heard the words that would change his life. It was Yoshinobu Yamamoto, fresh off being selected in the 4th round of the draft by the Oryx Buffaloes. At the time, he was struggling with pain in his right elbow. Every time he threw, a sharp pain shot through him. He couldn't even pitch properly like this. He says those days were filled with anxiety, wondering if he could really survive in the pro world. And then, Yada appeared in front of him. Yada's philosophy is incredibly simple. If you can't stand correctly, you can't walk correctly. If you can't walk correctly, you can't run correctly. If you can't run correctly, you can't throw correctly. A layered philosophy of the body, where every movement begins with how you stand. Instead of building strength like a typical trainer, His approach was to transform the body's coordination itself, not putting 100 units of force into a single muscle, but distributing 1 unit of force across 600 muscles, linking them together to generate explosive power. Yada asked Yamamoto to throw away everything he thought he knew. He told him to quit weight training entirely and instead take up javelin throws and bridges. Replace barbells with original exercises designed to build full-body coordination. To this almost unthinkable proposal, the 18-year-old Yamamoto responded without hesitation. "Then I'm all in." Yada later said that answer caught him completely off guard. And the results? He led the league in ERA, strikeouts, and more, capturing the pitching triple crown and more for 3 straight years. A high school kid drafted in the 4th round transformed, in just a few years, into the most dominant pitcher in Japan. Then, in 2024, he crossed the ocean to the Dodgers, together with Yada. But at that time, his teammates in America still didn't understand the true meaning behind this man's training at all. Spring 2024, when Yada and Yamamoto joined the Dodgers. For the first time, their teammates witnessed this unusual training routine up close, and what they saw completely shattered their assumptions. Every morning, a small elderly man stood beside Yamamoto at the training field. The two of them didn't use barbells or machines. Instead, they threw plastic spears, did bridges, and repeated core training drills. They never once went near the state-of-the-art training equipment in the U.S. There was one man quietly watching it all from the corner of the clubhouse: Mookie Betts. Around that time, he had started to notice something. His build was surprisingly similar to Yamamoto's. Betts stands at 175 centimeters, 81 kilograms, while Yamamoto is 178 centimeters, almost identical frames. But at that point, Yada's training still felt like a different world to Betts. Does that training Yama's doing actually work? I mean, what that old guy is doing is just so far from anything we'd call normal training. He was even heard saying things like that in the clubhouse. He never once imagined that the day would come when he himself would knock on that door. And then, the moment came when that evolution would be proven to the world. The 2025 World Series. On that stage, Yamamoto would go on to shatter the very fundamentals of baseball.
The day the Yada method was proven to the world.
October 2025. Game 6 of the World Series. That night, Yamamoto threw 96 pitches and secured the win. Normally, that would have been his final outing of the season. The fatigue from consecutive games had pushed him beyond his limits. Pitching again the next day was almost unthinkable. But the next morning, when Yamamoto showed up at the stadium and started warming up in the bullpen, the news spread through the clubhouse in an instant. Freeman couldn't believe his eyes. "I looked into the bullpen and Yama was warming up. Is he actually serious?" Betts was also left speechless by what he was seeing. "When I got to the stadium this morning, he said he could go." In that moment, the entire clubhouse energy completely changed. And then, Game 7. Yamamoto took the mound out of the bullpen. On 0 days of rest, after throwing 96 pitches the day before, he delivered 3 dominant innings. As he kept retiring hitters one after another, the entire stadium rose to its feet in a standing ovation. The Dodgers went on to win the game, capturing the World Series. Yamamoto recorded 3 of the team's 4 wins in the series and was named the clear MVP. But on that night, just a little removed from the team's circle of celebration, one man stood quietly, clenching his fist. His name, Mookie Betts. For a player who had just come off the worst season of his career, the miracle created by the Yada method hit him hard enough to change his life.
The MVP who abandoned his pride and the relentless training that followed.
Betts became a disciple of Yada and trained intensely during this season's camp. Each day begins with him throwing a plastic spear at full force. But this javelin training isn't just about strengthening the shoulder. According to Yada's theory, to throw a spear correctly, it's not about arm strength alone. It requires a full-body chain, the drive from the legs, the rotation of the hips, the coordination of the core, and finally transferring that force all the way to the fingertips. In other words, if the spear flies straight, it's proof that the entire body is working in perfect sync. Next comes the now famous piggyback training. Betts carries the 67-year-old Yada on his shoulders and slowly walks around the field. At first glance, it almost looks like some kind of punishment drill. But there was a clear purpose behind this exercise. If you apply unnatural tension while carrying someone on your shoulders, you lose balance and fall. In other words, it trains you to eliminate excess tension, while simultaneously developing a dynamic sense of balance. Not moving your body through brute force, but controlling it with precision in a relaxed state. That is the very core philosophy behind the Yada method. On top of that, bridges, balance boards, and Yada's original system known as the 5B method. Breath, bar, ball, board, and bridge. This system is made up of over 300 different exercises combinations. And what ties all of it together is a single philosophy. Not building bigger muscles, but fundamentally changing how the body is used. Betts admits that at first, he had no idea what any of this training meant. Honestly, I was skeptical at the beginning. I kept wondering, can this really change anything? But after a week, then 2 weeks, I started to feel something changing deep inside my body. Before I knew it, after 3 weeks, I was able to generate a straight throw from deep within my body. It felt like a lie. How I used to rely on pure force. Now, my body just moves on its own. And there was one man who understood Betts's dramatic transformation more calmly and more deeply than anyone else. The world's greatest hitter, Shohei Ohtani, who has quietly expressed his trust in Yamamoto. One comment he made about Yamamoto captured the true essence of the Yada method more precisely than anyone else ever could. Shohei Ohtani once said this after watching Yamamoto's training. Yamamoto isn't just throwing with his arm. The entire engine is working. That single line captured the true essence of the Yada method better than anyone else. The entire engine is working. In other words, it's not about one part of the body. It's about everything, from the top of the head to the tips of the toes, functioning together as one system. That is exactly the full-body coordination philosophy Yada has spent over 50 years pursuing. Interestingly, Ohtani's own training philosophy is the complete opposite of Yamamoto and Yada's approach. Influenced by Yu Darvish, Ohtani actively incorporates weight training into his routine. He pushes his strength to the limit, using that power to throw the ball and swing the bat. You could say it's a power-based approach. What Yamamoto is pursuing is the opposite. Maximizing performance by eliminating tension to the absolute limit. Two generational talents, walking completely different paths, yet aiming for the very same peak. The 2026 season. What kind of player will Betts become after being reborn through the Yada method? And just how far can Yamamoto continue to evolve? The quiet revolution sparked by a 67-year-old man. And this story is just getting started.
Thanks for watching all the way through. What did you think? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we continue to follow Shohei Ohtani's incredible journey. See you in the next one.